Okay, welcome to Getting Gripped Episode 3, the podcast where Scott and I work on our forearm strength and talk about our lives and video games. I'm
Heck
Ben.
yeah. And I'm Scott. And today's different because I have essential oils that I'll be smelling. This one is Breathe.
What are you smelling today?
Actually, sorry, it's not Breathe. It's Balance. And because I'm self-conscious of this, I feel like I have to give a quick disclaimer every time we talk. Getting gripped is referring to forearm, these exerciser things. It is not sexual. Yet.
Yet, unless you want it to be. Getting gripped, the beautiful thing about getting gripped is it could mean anything you want it to mean.
It's whatever you want it to be.
It's whatever you want it to mean. We want it to mean grip strength.
Also, actually, related note, I think I've been seeing some benefits from. I think this is working. I do it like during work, like I do it a lot. And Julia loves shoulder rubs, and she mentioned that I'm getting better at it now. And I think it's because I'm doing this all the time.
We love to see a satisfied Pookie.
Mm-hmm. What?
Well, Scott, you may not be in the TikTok realm as much as I am.
No.
But there's a couple that is on TikTok currently that have gone pretty viral where the husband who refers to his wife as Pookie and they pretty awkwardly review each other's outfits. It's a very positive and uplifting thing, but very memeable. And actually, it's going to have to do with the game I created for you in this. But before we get to that game, tell me about your week.
I'm so excited about this game. Week rundown. Work was good. It was a solar coaster. I'll leave it at that. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. I've been trying to be better at working out. And in an attempt to do that, I'm adding more variety to my workout days. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing like 1 day a week of Orange Theory, which is more like weight training and stuff like that. And then I'll go running, and then I'll on 1 day, and then I'll go like hiking, which is more like leg strength that day. Then I'll go trail running on a different day, and then I do yoga on a different day. So it's not like very rigorous, but because of the variety, I think it might be something I could stick with. I hate working out, and I just need something that I just do, So
I hear you. I'm not one of those passionate exercise guys. I like the feeling I have after exercise, but like I don't love running. I don't love a lot of these things, but I just feel like I got to be healthy, and I like being healthy.
I do like being healthy.
You mentioned to me before you played a show this week.
Yes, my band Dresky, we played a show at Metro in Salt Lake, and not a big crowd, but there's enough people there to like clap and like make us feel better about ourselves. And it was weird though because our guitarist couldn't make it, so it was just three of us, and so it was a different sound. But anyway, it was fun. It was a good show.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Scott's been in a plethora of bands, and he's a fantastic drummer. We were in a band together. We are in a band.
Yes,
We've never broken up.
True.
We just haven't
lives on.
We haven't continued to make music, but maybe we will someday. We did do a song a few years ago, which was a fun little bonus. A fun little callback.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the last thing I would throw in about my week is all of the other gaps of time in my week, I filled it with The Last of Us. That's it. That's all I did.
You beating it again, I presume?
Yep, I beat it again. And I did a lot more of No Return. So
loving it.
Good stuff. Loving it.
Okay, great. If I did a little recap of my week.
Yeah, I want to hear all of the details.
Okay, let me think. It wasn't a particularly exciting week. I did work. I went to the city a couple times. I did have a meeting last Monday at 7 o'clock in the morning. I had to go into the office. It takes about an hour to commute into work. So it was just an early morning. But I love my team. I really like my work. And outside
what do you do in your commute? Like, are you just in the subway reading? Are you podcasting? Are you
I usually podcast. So it takes me about a 15-minute walk to get to the subway. And then I take the subway to the World Trade Center, and then I take another subway or walk, if I have time, to work. And I listen to podcasts usually. I started reading Brandon Sanderson's Way of Kings.
Wait, you did?
Yes.
This is huge.
I'm
my
on
gosh.
page 36 of like 1,756. And the thing
Yeah.
is, like, I'm a bit of a slow reader. I don't have a
Okay.
ton of time to read a book. It's kind of hard to read on the train because, like, it's not long enough to, like, really get a good amount of pages read. And so I have a online library app that I can check out books online. And it's only for 2 weeks. So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to read I've already done with about 1 week. I'm like, there's no way I
Yeah.
can finish this book in 2 weeks. So I might have to just check it out again. But I will say, very intriguing. It's a very interesting book. I'm like, whoa, are these like gods? What is this world? Like, it just jumped forward thousands of years. I read another book recently. I didn't finish it. I kind of got bored with it. And I will say that this book is immediately intriguing. And the world building is immediately very fascinating. So I'm enjoying it. We'll read more tonight after this podcast.
Yeah. I'm very happy for you. That's one of my favorite book series ever.
I know. You've bragged about it forever, so I'm finally committing. Other than that, though, I've been doing exercises. We've just said goodbye to some friends that came and visited last week and from Tennessee. And they had a great time. Friends. It was a lot of fun. We ate so much food. And now we're just recovering and just having a good old grand time. My daughter, she's 18 months. She is getting into a tantrum phase. She's usually a very happy child, but has become extremely opinionated and loves saying no.
Just a phase.
But we love her very much. And regarding grip strength, I can't say I've necessarily noticed a difference, but I wear long sleeves all the time, and I'll try to see if this long sleeves are getting tighter or not.
There you go. Wait, just real quick. You have other friends than me? That's not allowed.
Hey, to be fair, they're my wife's friends, and I like them, but I wouldn't call them necessarily. I didn't initiate that relationship.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Don't worry.
1,000,000% kidding.
I'm staying true to my Pookie.
Okay. Still weirded out by that phrase, but I need to do my research.
Pookie is
actually, no, I'm not. Pookie is the name of Garfield's teddy bear, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it really?
And that is also cute. Yes.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's very cute. You're my Garfield teddy bear.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, Scott,
level is on you.
We were talking about what we wanted to discuss in this podcast. And I was thinking, what are fun ways we could make this like a more interesting podcast? And I wanted to present to you something that I created. It's called This Game is Absolutely Fire, Pookie. And
what?
I pretty much, because, 2023 was an amazing year for games. Amazing.
Yes.
What about 2024? Is it looking that exciting? I don't know. But today, Scott, I'm going to figure out what's going to be your 2024 game of the year by giving you a tournament-style bracket with vague descriptions of each of these games. And you choose, and we'll get to the final one and figure out what is Scott Knutson's game of the year.
Dude, this sounds special, and I'm looking forward to this.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
So I'm just going to tell you it. This is all going to be just you listening and then deciding, okay?
Okay, cool. I don't need to interact. Got it. Cool.
Well, I mean, interact with me. Feel free to stop me.
Yeah, I mean, like, do I need to click a link? Do I need to write things down?
No, unfortunately, cool. I'm not that technologically advanced just yet. But
well, that's probably better for our non-viewers, just listeners.
Yes.
If those exist.
So, Scott, a few of these descriptions, I have changed some of the words so it doesn't make it too obvious what the game is, but you may be able to get it enough.
Should I try to guess?
You can if you want. I don't think there's any harm in that.
I'll that'll be a bonus part, but
okay.
I'll just try to, yeah.
The first pair-up is game number 1 versus game number 16. Game number 1. Dash into a stylish and thrilling action-adventure platformer game set in a mythological Iranian world where the boundaries of time and space are yours to manipulate. Versus first-person RPG combines monsters and magic as you look into a perplexing, spreading plague. Which one would you prefer?
Whoa. What the heck? Okay, so we either have Iranian magic? No, wait. What was the first one?
It's a mythological Iranian world where the boundaries of time and space are yours to manipulate.
And what's the genre?
I would say it's a Metrovania. Metroidvania.
Okay, got it. Versus killing monsters, action
In a
RPG.
perplexing spreading plague story.
Oh,
We have 16
I'm really
games,
intrigued.
by the way.
Yeah, I'll try to be briefer about this. I'm really intrigued by the plague business, and I'm not too much of a Metroidvania guy. I have like one or two Metroidvanias I love, but after that, like I kind of just they drive me crazy. So I'm gonna go with Iranian game. I don't know what it is.
All right. Sorry, Scott. I'm not sure what's going on with my laptop.
No, take your time.
That's okay. Take your time. You know what that's from?
Yeah, it's Patrick and his rock, right? Like racing it.
I think, is it that one or is it when he's like, oh man, did I not save my bracket? Okay, luckily I planned for something like this. So
Smart.
this is what we're gonna
Yeah, I'm
do.
thinking that was Patrick when they're like racing snails, I think, but his snail is just a rock. And so it doesn't move, but then it ends up winning. Anyway, SpongeBob.
That's okay. Take your time.
That's okay. Take your time.
I thought it might have been when he was interviewing. So that was our first round. Ready for our second round?
Yes.
Okay, so you chose in the first round. All right, I have it saved. But our next pair up: battle beyond the abode of the dead using dark sorcery to take on the Titan of Time, versus these top-heavy, or let me rephrase that. These top-heavy, beady-eyed renditions of geek culture's most famous characters, up to 4 of them in online multiplayer, fight off enemies and solve puzzles.
BDI?
Like beady-eyed, like their eyes are beady.
Oh, okay. I'm going with the beady-eyed game.
Okay, all right.
I like puzzles. And I'm kind of over zombies at this point.
He's done with zombies. Come on, gamers out there. Stop
I like
making them play
turtles.
zombie games. Okay, I'm also going to adjust this so I can still see you while we're doing this. Perfect. All right. Here's the next one. Next pair up. Nudge this unemployed failson protagonist through forests, across streams, and over precarious bridges during its physics-based game. Versus pixelated nighttime adventure will encourage you to embrace powerlessness as you observe and explore its dense, mysterious forest.
I think I know the first game. That's the one. I think it's a comedy, and it's just like you have to walk this person. It's like a giant baby or something, and you have to walk them, and it looked really funny, and that's the one I pick.
All right, that's the one you pick. I will neither confirm nor deny you're correct.
Very well.
Okay. I need a way to determine the ones that we're not going to do. I will italicize them. Let me adjust that. We're learning here. We're learning how to do this. Okay. 2 larger-than-life heroes brought together by the hand of fate, or perhaps something more sinister, live it up in Japan and explore all that Hawaii has to offer in an RPG adventure so big it spans the Pacific.
Wait, it's in Japan and Hawaii?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Versus play as a gunslinger whose kick is as destructive as their guns in this Halloween-colored, fast-paced gangster blaster.
Oh, the first one sounds way more intriguing to me, but the second one, I think that's a trailer I saw made by Devolver Digital, and it looked pretty good. I'm gonna go with Hawaii and Japan. That sounds
Okay.
more fresh.
Then we'll move on. Forced to face his fate head-on as he is reunited with his long-lost mother and seeks to stop his father's reign of terror, a fighting game with a bear. Versus, this action-adventure game will push the player through different outfits, sword fighter, pastry chef, kung fu contessa, etc., and abilities in order to save her at-risk show at the Sparkle Theater.
Okay, I know both of these. It's Tekken 8 versus Princess Peach's whatever. I am not a fighter game guy, like, at all. I had a bad go with it on the Nintendo 64 playing Killer Instinct Gold. I'm going to go with the Princess Peach one.
All right. I find that description so funny because, like, the incentive was pushing the player through different outfits. It's not like different adventures or different.
No. I mean,
Okay.
the game, I think it does look, pretty fun, pretty fresh. I think a lot more geared for like general kid audience, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Nintendo, they don't mess around. It'll be good.
Here's the next two. A single-player narrative-driven action RPG that challenges the players to choose their own experience, from the appearance of their character, their vocation, their party, how to approach different situations, and more, in a truly immersive fantasy world. Versus, this one didn't have a description. I wrote this description.
Okay.
I pulled a lot of these descriptions from websites, either how the
Great.
game described itself on Steam or through a blog I found.
Wow, you really did your research here. Okay, continue.
I did it in like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So this game I pulled, it says, a mysterious DLC for one of the best games of all time. Details limited. Proceed, Scott, if you dare.
I mean, probably that's Alan Wake 2. That's my guess, that it's an Alan Wake 2 DLC you're referring to. And the first game sounded really vague and boring. And when it comes to like narrative, like action RPGs, sign me up. Narrative RPGs, like I fall asleep playing. So I'm going to go with Mysterious DLC, which is probably Alan Wake 2.
Okay, interesting.
Or it's Elden Ring DLC, which will be my top pick the whole year. Anyway, continue.
Okay, interesting. The fizzy, frothy Splatoon-like game will equip its players with a unique froth gun in order to build terrain, creating slippery surfaces to surf around the arena at high speed and help defend from enemy attacks. It's also a good opportunity to reminisce on when you accidentally put liquid dish soap in the dishwasher. Versus, this game will take its best bloody stab at bizarre nostalgia with an asymmetrical multiplayer horror experience based on the 1988 B-movie of the same name.
So I know the first one. It's like Foam Stars. It's like the PlayStation Splatoon. And so I don't know. I've never really gotten into Splatoon. The game looked kind of fun. Mm-hmm. The second game, if it's a ripoff of like a B horror movie, pixelated, scary game, that really doesn't appeal to me, I don't think. Unless it's like really good mystery and sci-fi woven in. Then I'd be intrigued, but it doesn't really sound like it. So I'm going to go with Foam Party game.
Seems
Fake
like you got
Splatoon.
it. Because I tried to like change the foam to froth. It's too obvious. It's too obvious.
It's okay.
Okay,
I mean, a lot of this depends on the trailers I've seen here so far. So you could.
True.
I'll probably see some stuff I don't know.
The 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West has, as one of the world's most popular Buddhist folktales, had its parts harvested for blockbuster movies, anime, and video games. This is the latest game to try to harness Journey's layered mythology. Versus, delayed from a release date in October 2023, this survival horror remake seeks to revive a campy 1992 horror game.
That sounds like the last horror game you just described to me. A remake of.
It does sound like that, doesn't it?
I'm gonna go with the Journey to the West one. Is that Dragon Ball Z? You don't have to tell me.
I'll tell you this. It inspired Dragon Ball.
Got it.
Okay. All right. We are in the semifinals, I believe. Or is that what you call it? So I think we go by this really fast. First-person RPG combines monsters and magic in a perplexing, spreading plague. Versus these top-heavy beady-eyed renditions of geek culture's most famous characters, up to 4 of them on online multiplayer, fought off enemies and solved puzzles.
Plague.
Rink. Old. All right. Moving on. Nudge this unemployed fail-son protagonist, or two larger-than-life heroes live it up in Japan and Hawaii.
Oh, man. Japan and Hawaii. I think the first game sounds funnier, but I don't know how long, if I played it, how much I would actually be like. I don't know how long that'll last for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Princess Peach Showtime or the Mysterious DLC?
Mysterious DLC, please.
Okay. Foam Stars or the thing that inspired Dragon Ball?
Thing that inspired Dragon Ball, please. Wait,
Okay.
sorry. What genre is that game though? Is it like fighting?
I think it's kind of like a Souls-like.
Oh, then yeah, do the Souls-like one.
Okay. All right. Now we're almost there. This is like the semifinals officially, and then
Okay.
we'll hit the finals. Okay. First-person RPG, Spreading Plague versus Japan and Hawaii.
Question: am I spreading the plague? Am I doing
Honestly,
that?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay. What's the genre? Well, you said that fantasy
This is
RPG with plague.
RPG.
Is that in
Both are RPGs, actually. One's third-person RPG, one's a first-person RPG.
I'm guessing the first game you talked about is Enshrouded, which I think looks pretty sweet. The second game, oh man, ooh, this is a tough one because both sound so weird and delightful. I'm gonna go with the Plague one. Sorry,
Interesting.
Japan and Hawaii.
Let's see.
If I knew more, I might not make that the same decision.
All right. Then Mysterious DLC versus the Dragon Ball Inspo.
Mysterious DLC, please.
Are you putting the Mysterious DLC all the way?
Probably.
Okay, so
That
then
depends,
it's between.
because if I'm wrong, then I'll be sad. But continue.
Okay, so this is between the Perplexing Spreading Plague versus the Mysterious DLC.
Mysterious DLC, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that one
Scott. According to this chart, what might be your game of the year, which will be a DLC, is Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Yes.
You manifested it. You knew. You had a feeling.
I did.
For those of you who don't know, Scott loves Elden Ring.
I love me some good Elden Rings, bruh. Yeah, I mean, we don't even have a trailer yet or a release date. It might not even come out this year, but I really hope it does because I really want to play it, and I'm excited. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you the game that you almost picked.
Yeah, go in backwards order. Like, what did I kind of shoot down?
Okay. So some of the first games you shot down. Here, I'll adjust my screen again. So some of the first games you shot down were Prince of Persia, the new Prince of Persia game.
Oh no, that one actually looks really cool.
You shut down
Whoops.
Hades 2 pretty quickly.
Oh shoot! What? Oh man, I'm
shut
really
down-
looking forward to both of those games.
You shut down Animal Well.
Oh, that's the donkey one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know much about it.
I think it was pretty close, but you did shut down Angerfoot.
Angerfoot. That I was thinking of the right game. Yeah, that game also looks pretty fun.
Tekken 8 was one you quickly shut down. Dragon's Dogma 2 was also one.
Oh, Dragon's
And
Dogma.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh.
I've seen that movie, and I'm actually kind of excited for that one.
Okay.
And then Alone in the Dark, which is that David Harbour.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. That game actually looks pretty sweet. I
I
tried.
played the first one a bit.
Me too, and I couldn't get into it.
When you lived with Clay, is that when you played it?
No, I played it just like a month ago. for the
Oh,
first time.
interesting. Yeah, there's a lot to get into it. I don't know if RPGs are my favorite type of game out there. But Clay
I thought it
loves
was
that
a
game.
Really cool concept. Like, I think had I played it at the time it came out, I probably would have been way more into it. But playing it, I mean, I don't know when Dragon Dogma 1 came out, but it feels like pretty clunky. It feels pretty old, and that unfortunately I think kind of swayed my opinion there. So
Yeah, for sure. You want to hear your second round picks?
yeah.
You denied Funko Fusion. It's a Funko Pop game. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a Lego Star Wars, but with Funko Pops.
Oh gosh, yeah. No.
Baby
thanks.
Steps, you knew that one.
That's what it's
You
called.
knew Princess Peach Showtime. You knew Foam Stars. Yeah, that was that round. This is where things got a little closer. Avowed. I haven't heard much about this game, except that it's a first-person RPG that combines Masters of Magic and Perplexing Spreading Plague.
Okay.
Yakuza
okay.
Infinite Wealth. You almost picked Yakuza Infinite Wealth. That's in Japan and Hawaii.
Oh, the Japan and Hawaii one. Got it.
If you ever want to, on PlayStation Plus, Yakuza 0 is on there. Or Yakuza Like a Dragon. I played a lot of that one, but then I got to a point where I got stuck. but it was very enjoyable.
Oh no, it's good. Okay, cool. I haven't played any of them.
I'd recommend them. It's fun.
Sweet.
You picked Elden Ring, and you also almost picked Black Myth Wukong. So
Oh, dude, that's coming out this year?
that's what it says.
I'm probably going to play the heck out of that.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks really interesting. I'm so intrigued by that game.
But even with all that stuff, like, I'm still not that excited about 2024.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is interesting because I was not excited about 2024. Like, I don't really know what's coming out. Hopefully, Shadow of the Erd Tree. That was kind of it. But you saying all these things back to back, it's like, oh dang, there's actually a couple out there that I'm like gunning for.
Oh, good.
DLC, Black with Wukong, that Baby Steps game, the Kickfoot shooter game. I think that looks Angerfoot. Hades 2, forgot about that. Prince of Persia actually looked pretty fun. And then, yeah, I guess I'm just repeating what we just did. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm like, oh, wow.
Well, okay, maybe I'll sing a different tune. Maybe this year will be a great year for, like, indies.
Yeah.
That maybe 2024 will be an indie year. Because Inscription was an indie game that was fantastic.
Oh, my gosh.
I hope that 2024 has more stuff like that. You mentioned that you had a little game for me.
Oh, not a game. It's here. Let me check with Julia to see if she's into this idea. I just thought of it, and it's entirely dependent on if she wants to participate with this. And I think she might be making dinner right now, so it might.
Oh, if it's bad timing, we could do it later.
It might be bad timing. Hold that thought.
Okay.
I can still hear you though, if you wanted to keep talking.
Oh, hey, I can keep talking. Scott's walking away, but we can still hear him and talk to him. Oh, let's see.
Julia.
Let's see. Oh, he might have muted himself so I don't hear their conversation. Wonder what they're having for dinner. One time we went over to their house and they made us these sweet potato nachos. I think that's what it was. It was so good. Loved it. They also have a really interesting pink bathroom. Maybe he'll give you a little bathroom tour sometime. That's also pretty cool. What else?
I got her. I wrangled her.
Hey!
Let me turn my screen there.
Julia coming in with the comfy, snuggy blanket hoodie thing.
I know. Hold on. I'm going to have to reconfigure my audio really quick.
All right, I'll patiently wait. Yes. I'm looking to be like you. Huh? What?
Are you growing your hair out?
I am. Yeah, I'm trying to. It's my first time ever really doing it. But I kind of wanted to get down to the the Alan Wake length.
Of course. A man on a mission, dude. Dude, you're gonna look really good with long hair. I'll tell you right now.
You think so?
I know so.
Wow.
Okay, cool. So this is my wife, Julia.
Julia, welcome.
All day she's been working on a project, and she finished just right when we started our podcast, and I feel bad because I think she really wanted to tell me about the project. But so it's nothing game related, but it's like life, like Ben and Scott life related. And so this could be fun just to hear about together. And I'll be reacting to this for the first time, as well as you can too, if you have any.
I'm very excited.
So without further ado, I don't know, you can talk about it.
Okay. So the context of this project is that my grandpa passed away recently, and one of his last pieces of advice to me was on how to make decisions. And he said, it's easy, just make a spreadsheet. That's basically like, you have all your different options on one axis, and then you have all the different characteristics that are important to you. And then you can weight those characteristics, and then you give each thing a ranking, and then you can multiply.
You can give weight to certain
give weight
ones.
to certain things, and then you multiply the ranking times the weight, and then add up all the characteristics, and you get the total. So the decision that's been weighing on our minds, kind of, ish, is like...
Weighing on our mind might be a weird way to put it, but we think about this and talk about it all the time.
Yeah. Not that we're really maybe going to do anything about it soon. But we talked about where to live and or are we going to move a lot.
In a more like permanent place with the house that we want to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to make one of these decision tables for this decision and spent, I
All
don't know,
day.
because I just like looked down and then I looked up and it was dark. So I think I've just been looking down all day. But so some of the characteristics that weigh heavily on our mind is climate change and like settling down in a place that's still going to be habitable and or comfortable, and like if we're going to put down roots, establishing ourselves in a place that could potentially be beneficial for like if we have kids and we hand down this house to them, that it's not going to be underwater or
in a toxic cloud of arsenic waste.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Wow. Yeah. I'm in. I'm very interested.
Other factors, I think, we're contemplating potentially starting a family, so having like family close by to help be supportive during that time period and or friends. Schools for like good schools, also affordability. Part of this conversation is like, well, there's no point in having this conversation because we can't afford anything anyway. Mortgage rates are so high. But
It's so crazy right now.
anyway, other factors were like we really enjoy being outdoors, so having access to the beach or to the mountains or forests and things like that. So after the final calculus,
Crunching the numbers. I don't know this, by the way.
Oh, well, let me say some of the contenders. So we currently live in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Salt Lake City.
Uh-huh.
Ogden, Utah, which is a little bit north of here. Mesa, Arizona, where my sister lives. Norfolk, Virginia, where his sister lives.
Bellingham, where
Bellingham, where he's from. Encinitas, where I'm from.
Washington, California.
And then a couple of like different places in the Pacific Northwest, which are going to be more climate friendly in the future, and all along the coast of California as well, especially like
Northern-ish
California, because there's both
Right, because Southern California is going to go underwater. Things.
And on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
At the same time.
At the same time.
Exactly. Drum roll? Do you want a drum roll? According to my calculus, the place where we should live is Salt Lake City. Staying here.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then second after that would be Ogden, and then Norfolk, and then Mesa, and then Spokane, Washington. So those are the top 5.
Wow, you guys are where you're supposed to be.
So I want to understand some of the data, because a big one for us is, like you mentioned, the climate, like longevity of where we live. Salt Lake is in the middle of a desert, and it's getting droughts, and it's next to toxic arsenic lake. How is that number 1 with those environmental factors?
Because, so, here's how I weighted it. So, the data can change based on, like, all of this is kind of, like, subjective in terms of how I rank. I mean, I did lots of research.
Sure.
Like, I weighted family as 2, friends as 1.5, climate and environmental factors is 2.5. And even though, like, so in terms of like the climate environmental factors, it scored, even though all the things that you talked about, it scored a 3.18 out of 10 versus Mesa, which scored like a 0. So it's not great, but when it's weighed against the fact that we have a community of friends here, we have family here, other things.
Affordability is somewhat better than other places.
Also, part of my calculus, there's a Trader Joe's here. There's a Costco here.
Yeah.
There's an art scene here. So it's not like there's, in total, I think the reason also why I did this decision-making thing is because I realized I can't have everything. Like, there is no one place that is going to satisfy all of our dreams and wishes. And so let's put it down on paper and decide, okay, well, which one does it the most? You know, and like if we know that, then we can be okay letting go of the things that we didn't get because it was still our best option. So
I feel better about living in Salt Lake now.
there you go. Then it did.
Heck yeah, and who knows? Maybe they'll find ways to get the arsenic out of the lake.
Maybe.
I hope so.
And you can finally go swimming, Scott. You can finally go swimming in the lake.
Fine.
Like you've always wanted.
What I want them to do is build a giant, impossibly expensive pipeline that pumps seawater from the Pacific Ocean all the way into the Great Salt Lake so we can refill it. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Julia, that was really interesting and cool. It's something I think about all the time. Where are we going to live? And the wave factors is very interesting. I think Rachel would be very intrigued by that. She's a very data-driven lady. And I'm just like, I kind of feel like living here. Like my 2023 Spotify Wrapped, it said that a lot of people who listen to the same music as me live in Madison, Wisconsin.
Interesting.
I was like, Madison, Wisconsin? I've never even thought of that place before.
Dude, let's go to Madison.
So I Zillow over there and stuff, but
Milwaukee.
it'd be interesting to weigh.
Milwaukee,
interesting to weigh.
Wisconsin ranked number 6 on our list.
Oh, wow.
I would not have.
Where's Milwaukee?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Number 6 on the list.
Mm-hmm. 6.
Well, if 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 don't work out for you, maybe we'll all live in Wisconsin.
We'll meet you in Madison.
I mean,
Heck
the other
yeah.
thing is, like, this was kind of also just for fun because we can look
Sure.
at this all day, but if we like, I think it
don't
also
want to do something.
also kind of helps to be like, oh, Salt Lake's number 1, and then be like, oh, how does that feel to us? And we're like, that's not right. Then it's like, okay, then the data's wrong, or like we're not weighing it correctly how we actually feel.
Yeah, it would be interesting if you're just like, well, okay, maybe I actually feel like Friends are 1.3 and climate is 2.6, and I would figure that maybe that would affect the data drastically. You know?
Right.
Very interesting. That's also interesting to be climate driven about where you want to live. I haven't really thought of that. I probably should. I do think about natural disasters though.
Yeah.
I think I want to live in somewhere where I'm not going to have a tornado come through or fire or flood like a tsunami. But man,
I feel like we put that's something we are conscious and worried about. I hope if we don't have to, I hope we're putting in too much stake into the environmental thing. It's just, I don't know, man. With all it's so much like just in the news and in the podcast cycle of just how much certain places are losing their water supply and dying, and it's I can't not think about it.
Like I fully admit that these are weights according to us and how we operate, but it's not universal. Like for someone else,
we're going to prescribe this to you, Ben.
But I'm saying it may not be that as important to them, and I don't think it necessarily should be as important to them. I just know for me, I feel existential dread and anxiety every day that it's not snowing in winter.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that's maybe something that I can address myself, but also I know myself. I'm I don't want to feel anxious all the time for one whole season of the year. Then let's go someplace that's wet. And
yeah.
You don't have to face that and think about climate change every day.
For sure. Wow. Well, I think that's super cool to share. It sounds like you guys are the best place right now. I'm going to follow up and see if any data has changed in the future.
We'll crunch the numbers.
Very curious on how that goes, and may have to edit this out of the episode. We got to gatekeep Salt Lake City. We can't have everybody of our listening to this move to Salt Lake.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
We want to drive the prices down, not up.
Yeah, the Trader Joe's is too crowded.
It is very crowded.
They need another
Trader Joe's is nice. Did you guys ever get the kimbap from Trader Joe's?
No. Oh, shit.
Maybe it was just out here. It was always out of stock when we would come over in Hoboken to try to get some. But
do you guys have a Trader Joe's?
We do in Hoboken.
Then you're in the right place.
Yeah, we're close. We're in the right place. At Trader Joe's. New Jersey, it's number 1 for education.
Oh, really?
In the country.
Oh, wow.
And it's also has the lowest teen suicide rate.
Wow.
Out of all states in the country. It's also the highest property tax of any state in the country.
Really? I would have
they tax you for just living.
But hey, you can see the money's at least going somewhere. They're number one in education and youth death rates. Like for suicide, that's low. That's impressive.
An interesting correlation there, yeah.
It's hard to afford though. But I looked up like top places that in the country that have like the best education, including counties. And New Jersey has a bulk of them. But and a lot of East Coast places, a lot of Virginia counties as well. But surprisingly, one county in Washington and quite a few counties in Iowa
Interesting.
are ranked great for education. Who knew?
Where in Virginia were you weren't in Norfolk at all, were you?
I think I might have been. Let me ask Rach. Hey, Rachel. Did we serve in Norfolk, Virginia at all? No? Was that out of our mission? It was. I don't know geography. I was like, that sounds familiar, though. No, I didn't touch it. But you guys considered there.
Yeah, his sister.
My sister lives there.
We're considering Charlottesville as a place to live someday.
Is that North Carolina? Or Virginia?
That's actually Virginia as well.
Virginia.
God.
Yeah.
Cool. Nothing about
Well,
it.
you know what we learned? You know what we learned today?
What?
2026. FIFA's coming to New Jersey at the stadium 15 minutes where we live.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's right. They're doing the World Cup in the States, and they're doing all around the country. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, they are?
Is that what you're referring to? I guess you said
I-
FIFA. You didn't say the World Cup.
Oh, Rachel just told me. Maybe it is just a FIFA game coming to New Jersey. If it was the World Cup, I'd be surprised. But if it is a World Cup too, I hear that the World Cup just destroys economies wherever it goes. And so I'd be like, maybe we could afford a place here. It comes through.
Yeah. Well, maybe in a country like ours where soccer or football is way less like prioritized, maybe it would just make money instead of
Lose it? Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, doke. Goodbye.
Julia, thanks for guest starring.
Yes, of course.
I know what our title of this episode is going to be.
The Purple Monster guest stars.
Purple Pookie.
Wait. That's the thumbnail. Come in. We got to grip strength and then pose. T-pose.
Nailed it.
Great. There we go.
Good work.
Thank you, Julia. I love you.
Love you.
Yes, she said it back.
All right. Well, Scott, that seems like a pretty successful episode to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm good to.
Congrats on living in the place that has the best options for you.
Yeah, that does kind of make me feel happier. I mean, obviously it's like rough math or whatever, right? But it's like maybe we are doing something right. I always doubt myself. Like, do I need to sell all my stuff and just move to Argentina? You know, so anyway.
Argentina.
Or wherever, Chile. I really want to go to southern Chile before I die, but maybe I just want to live there.
We could go to Patagonia.
Exactly, I want to do that.
This poster right here. It's a Patagonia poster.
Patagonia, baby.
Yes. All right. Well, man, should we wrap the episode up?
Yeah, I'm cool with that, man. I'm about to go
Oh,
get some
cool. I think we should play a game this week, though. I think we should play a game together.
Let's do it.
And stream it.
Yes.
I don't know which one.
Let us ruminate. And
and I'd also maybe love to hop on when you're playing No Return and just kind of see how it's going.
How is that possible? I guess, so would I be streaming and then you just watch the stream? Or can you, hop into my games?
I believe you can share your screen on PlayStation. So I can, watch you play and talk with you.
For sure, man. Let's do that. I want to watch you play.
I think that'd be sick. Yeah, we'll take turns at No Return.
We can do it. We can see. We can try to get the highest score or something.
Oh, dude, I would not have the highest score. Maybe you could coach me through it a bit.
Dude, I will say I've played a lot of No Return, and I think it's made me really good at The Last of Us.
I am not very good at The Last of Us right now. And honestly, I haven't felt this big intrigue because I get so depressed when I'm playing. It's so sad.
It will continue. I feel you, man. Also, no pressure to finish. If you don't want to, don't finish it. Just live your life.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But Scott, thank you for this wonderful episode, and I'll end the stream. See you all later.
Right back at you, man. I'll see you.